Hey, traders, how y'all doing? Happy Monday. Not so good of a Monday, depending on what asset class you're in, right? If you're in value and Ethereum, pretty incredible historical day. But if you're in Bitcoin and growth stocks, not very good at all. And you know that through Rising Valley stuff. I mean, look, man.
Not a request, but Amazon closed below the 50, 100, and 200-day moving averages on the daily time scale, and the 100 and 200-day MA on the 4-hour time scale.
Yep. Yeah, tech got wrecked. Bitcoin got wrecked. Crazy enough, though, Bitcoin got as low as we'll look at it. 53,900, and now it's at $56,000. I'm starting the show with YFI because, dude, this is just like the one that has just been forever. I mean, I felt like I was taking crazy pills since May started on YFI, and it looked very similar to Tezos at an inflection point. It just couldn't. It kept breaking the resistance, the all-time high, and just kept crapping out. And I don't know. While Ethereum kept going, it's just like, what's going to happen? Like, what else has to occur for YFI to really actually go to like 68K, 70K, and finally catch an impulse candle, 14% up right now. I mean, we're talking within the past hour, 60 minutes, maybe a little more than that. That's it. Bitcoin dumped. It was down like 6+%, and guess what? YFI got to 49,543. It never hit a stop loss, right, of that trade setup. Even though Bitcoin's idea, that trade setup failed, and it's just gonna happen, man. Remember, like, trade setups are about finding predictable patterns that we've seen that have played out a million times in the past in right conditions, and sometimes they fail, right? And that's what stop losses are for. But then again, right, look where Bitcoin is. It's back above maybe where the stop would have been. So yeah, it's rather unfortunate. Really, just tons of volatility, bamboozling. No technical damage done on the daily on Bitcoin, none. Right? Remember, we'll look at it. But anyway, YFI, let's go, dude. All right. The second target of that trade on YFI is 62,954. So it's well on its way. That's a 1272 fib extension. Just bringing it up real quick. I don't know. A little endorphin release versus looking at Bitcoin, which is not much endorphin release, right? Like May 2nd, second day of the month or whatever, it looked good, right? Butting up against the old, well, it wasn't quite at the old all-time high yet, but that was the problem it was having the whole time. So it hit, 57,383 first target, then just was stuck forever. And now finally getting in some price discovery, re-engaging, right? So second target 62,954, then 68,579. Why? That's just the top of the major structure, the channel near the 1618 fib extension. So well on the way, man. Finally, dude. Okay, I'm just felt like I was going crazy, man. But I kept telling myself, when you think you're going crazy in conditions like this that are bullish, it's like the composite operator messing with you, dude, making you get complacent, so you offload your position to him at a discounted rate before he can push it up. Right? Here's that failed structure. This is what happened, right? I mean, I don't know, like stream ended, we were around 58,200, and then really nice start to the new week, goes up and tests the confirmation line of the structure. It looked great. It was like, oh man, everything's, then what happened? It couldn't break the confirmation line. It failed. So the pattern failed. It was a failed. Now, what happens if there's enough demand to break it above the confirmation line? It goes and probably runs to all-time highs, but that didn't happen. It was just, market participants weren't ready yet. There were still just not enough demand, too much supply, a little bit of both, and the asset's down 4% now. And trying to hammer, but who knows, man? Dude, you got an hour and 40 minutes left. Age is waking up. Who knows how they're going to respond to what the Americans did today, all right? Where, again, it was just at its highest point on the day of the week, 59,500, got to a low of 53,000. You're talking a almost 10% swing in less than 24 hours, in like 16 hours. Welcome to the effing show. Someone cue up the Will Ferrell gif, Welcome to the effing show of crypto. So, I don't know. I mean, they're 55,963, which is a just candle low close from April 7th. It's testing that as resistance right now. Really bad bearish engulfing candle before. But, yeah, it's demoralizing, right? But if you go to the daily, it's less demoralizing because, right, the bullish engulfing candle from May 5th is still valid, right? Until you get a daily candle close below the open, 53,200, everything's okay, right? That engulfing candle is still real and active. What you're gonna start worrying about maybe a little bit now is, all right, we're finally starting to lose the momentum. This keeps up, then you're talking about hidden bearish divergence going on. But just remember, yesterday you were at your highest point on the histogram island, so now it's starting to wane. So yeah, you got to get back above, on at least on the daily, 57,489. That's that high from February 21st. That's just been such a problem area. Good God, this is such a chop city, man. Chop city. And then we can go to Ethereum. That is just unbelievable, dude, right? 4,043, hit a high of 4,200.
Is that a joint?
And that was it. Remember we talked about 420? It's just the way it is now. Market participants use 420, 4,200, 42,000, just psychological resistance. It happened. 4,200 was a stronger psychological resistance than 4,000 itself. 4,000 was a joke. It was like you hit it and you just blasted through it. If you're watching the price. So 420, 400, or 4,200 stronger than 4,000. All right. Yeah, dude, tech at the same time, right, as Bitcoin was selling off. All tech stocks were wrecked, man. Amazon, Google. Look at this price action, the 4-hour, unreal. So from its all-time high to its lowest point, how far did it retrace? In like 4 hours. We'll say 8 hours. We'll say 6 hours, 6.5 hours, 13.45% swing. Welcome to crypto, dude. That is crypto characteristic. Volatile, very volatile. I mean, liquidation hunting, stop loss hunting, and Bitcoin rallying. So Ethereum's outperforming in its rally. So up 2.51% today. Beautiful. Right, most things have been down or are down now double-digit percentage points, but then you have a double-digit percentage gainer, and it's called Hexcoin, and it's now back testing the first target of the trade setup as support. Right, 4.11 cents. Look left as a candle open from when it got listed to this exchange Fitbit June 9th of last year. So it's like 11 months. 11-month area is now support for the first time in history. Who knows how that's going to hold? It's really nice to see it rally with Bitcoin and Ethereum and all the others. That's nice. So remember the target on this eventually. This is not a swing trade. This is a position trade. Next target's 9.7 cents eventually. You won't be able to believe it when it gets there, but nothing else really makes too much sense. Wait, what's up with that? Why is that off? Oh, okay, because the wicks are weird. I hate that, man. When you go to the 4-hour, the wick's a different length or height than when you go to the daily. It's a higher wick. So I'm thinking, yeah, 9.7 because that's the daily wick, where it exists, you know. But really good to see, right? This in an hour 34 minutes, Hex will be closing above the highest open ever, which is historical, very overbought too, but whatever. Highest level of positive momentum in history. History everywhere, all over Hex right now.
Your opinion is much appreciated. Love the CTI/USDT.
Dude, that one's nuts, man. Unbelievable, dude. What did y'all do? What are y'all doing on CTI? Y'all ran it up to the 618, which I guess in retrospect, man, it'd have been... Dude, you can't target for an asset going up literally 100% in 60 minutes. You just can't target for that. I don't ever expect, or it's not even expect, I would never even be placing a bid on an asset running up 100%, which is exactly what CTI did yesterday. I don't know what y'all are doing over there, but y'all are the market makers on CTI. And it's like, what were you doing? Why you could have gone on one more fib node, right? You took it to 618, like $30. I think target was like $32. 786, and she's like, nah. But yeah, either way, it looks more normal now. It looks more like, okay, it's just rallying. Good. So this could take a while. It's probably going to be the way, you know, a normal trade setup would be, you know, how it should. Good. So Hex, man, hidden bullish divergence played out, back test the old resistance as support is, I mean, this is just so educational. Like if you're a new viewer or something, a new market participant, like these are the things that you know, hey, I'm wrong all the time and stuff, right? But you know, sometimes it works out where the TA is respected brilliantly, and I'm just trying to show you where there could be strategic entry areas and stuff, okay? And just like an asset that is showing consecutive higher lows, right? You know, it breaks all-time highs. It looks great, but there's just not enough demand yet. Too much supply, maybe both combination, and it sells off Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin helped sell it off. And then it just goes and tests that old November 1st high for the first time ever, and it held. And like when it held that old resistance as support for the first time in history, it showed at the same time on the oscillator hidden bullish divergence. So when you have that implies an impending price action continuation on a back test of old historical highs as support. That's it, man. That's the signal. That's like, okay, screaming, yep, market participants are gaining the confirmation they need to begin another huge markup, and that's what's happened on Hex. And it's wonderful, man. All right. Anyway. Yeah, this market's whack, dude. This market is insane. So let's look at total real quick. All right, total market cap.
I like turtles.
We all like totals, but hey, remember we were talking about this whole time $2.5 trillion target eventually, just because it was the top of the channel and it was the supply line, the upsloping resistance. 2.5 trillion, check. You hit it, right? You hit it perfectly and reversed. So you go from 2.53 trillion to a low point of 2.13 trillion. Good mother of God, that is a lot of money. Maybe not anymore, you know, but you know, in a less than 24-hour period, you get a 15% swing in the total market cap. We're talking $387.73 billion. Whack market, dude. Oh yeah, dude, so normal. Yeah, this is no big deal, dude. No, it's actually a pretty big deal. That's a lot of volatility. That's pretty, yeah. You're not crazy for thinking it's been a wild day today. I guess we can go to Litecoin, you know, Bitcoin, Ethereum, X, look at this one, that one. Yeah, Litecoin, just, God, it was so close to 421 and it just ran out of time. You know, remember Bitcoin beckons, altcoins heed the call. 413.95 high, multi-year highs, near all-time highs, and a big sell-off, you know, from 413 to $333. I mean, again, dude, this is just, it's one of those days, you know, and 20% swing in price in less than 24 hours. That's crazy volatility. That's huge, dude. So you know, in the end, I guess it's kind of impossible to really be like, oh, bearish divergence developing. Maybe on the RSI, MACD was really tough to gauge. I think it's just the volatility.
Kids, call us. Color Yarte Paranikio super chat at $30.04. BTC looking bottomed out. Oversold on the 4H Sakara side with the opposite on the 1D. Looking overbought. Thoughts on the idea BTC goes up short term then drops to 45, 50K?
Yeah, man, I don't know, Bitcoin, dude. It's
Bitcoin
like,
seems to be struggling to get
hold
over
on.
the price of a kilogram of gold. Coincidence? Thoughts, please. Love your broadcasts here in the.
What's up, Ashley? Thanks for the £5 super chat coming in from the UK. It's late, getting late over there. Get some sleep if you can. I don't know if that, I mean, probably coincidence, maybe not. Who knows, right? I mean, it's just, I think it's more of a supply-demand thing where there's just a lot of supply, the 58,000 to 62,000 range for Bitcoin, and there's just still constantly never enough demand to break it. Not yet. And, you know, that rally that we saw in Bitcoin off the lows of 53,800, it may not be done. Asia's waking up. Who knows? Like, what Asia, they could continue. You know, America dumped it, and Asia could continue the dump. So, again, I think the big, it'll be sad on Bitcoin if it breaks on the daily. Remember, below that 53,500 area on the daily close, when you invalidate the bullish engulfing candle you painted on May 5th. So yeah, Litecoin still making higher lows for now. Still outperforming the living crap out of Bitcoin. A lot of these alts are outperforming Bitcoin. It's down 6% today. I'm just saying, like, outperforming in terms of, look where it is. It's at multi-year highs. Bitcoin's not. I mean, Bitcoin's well off its all-time highs and stuff. So I'm just talking about locally. It's fine. Got really high really fast, and the macro pulled it back, and it's looked at above 350. It's okay. You just have to think about, all right, if it can't hold 350, then it'll probably go down to 314, 315 if Bitcoin keeps selling. So, but the good thing is, like, when Bitcoin just stops selling, when it just doesn't do anything, man, these altcoins can prosper and they can run. Man, Bitcoin just doesn't stop. I mean, it sells off and sells off. It makes lower highs. It just can't do anything. And so, I don't know, man. I mean, like, it's like some assets, trades are playing out. And then on other assets, they're getting stopped out. It's like, yep, welcome to it. What's up, Adam? So, Litecoin, look at XRP, I guess, down 7.74%. Oh, God, this is starting to turn into a lower high than the previous high. It's a huge sell-off, man. I mean, it went all the way down to $1.21, now $1.41. So, like, this is just starting to turn into this, where you think, all right, it's like, is it X, A, B, C, D stuff? I mean, if you're looking for a swing trade, you think about the asset, it broke out and it hit like would be targets. 150 was definitely target. You'd think 196 eventually, but it's never gonna be able to perform every time Bitcoin sells off, right? So you're just thinking, like, if worst comes to worst and Bitcoin sells off, Bitcoin's got this idea too, where it could see its own 886. Yeah, I mean, 886 down here, like that would be the lowest risk entry strategic swing trade, down at 97, 98 cents. You got an XABCD and you could just be beginning or continuing to sell off so you eventually see that. And that would be a value area for a long on a swing trade. This would be a great area down there, 98 cents. Across the board, man. All right, look at Tezos, down 12% today. But look, I mean, like, come on. Like, what do you see on some of these? It's like, yeah, go figure, right? Go figure that when an asset hits 2 of the 3 targets on the trade setup, maybe, yeah, it goes like just a little bit above the second target, $8. It tests $8 as a resistance and it reverses. Like, God, I mean, what that's exactly what happens. An asset gets pushed up and market participants take profit on the asset, enough of it to where another sell-off begins, and the macro Bitcoin craps out to where this could go and back test 535, 563, the old resistance from February 14th, back tested as support, hold it before going higher, and eventually seeing $10. Or at the same time, Bitcoin keeps on up, it'll never happen, right? It can never happen, just. So it's just like, yeah, ticking time bomb for these altcoins. Bitcoin's always been the ticking time bomb. So some are able to rally and then hit targets, and then some just underperform long enough to where you run out of time. But some, like Tezos and KNC, they like outperform while Bitcoin's not being volatile and stupid. They're able to hit targets before correcting, and then some aren't, they're just unable to launch. They fail to launch, or they begin launching, but you just, again, Bitcoin dumps, doesn't matter. They all just go with it. All right, look at Link. Link was a very interesting one. Good God, Well, and somehow, like, we were looking at this yesterday, this, like, just upsloping. It's all, how are you in this still? How in the world? You go down, you test the heart line of the channel. $40 is at $47 now. It's down 10%. It was down 20+% earlier.
Fourth looked so good, man. Bitcoin just had to ruin it. What do you think now? Harmonic invalidated?
Hageki was so, dude, probably. I mean, this is, yeah, Bitcoin destroys everything. Like, Bitcoin will destroy any trade setup, but just at the same time, then you look at the other ones, they play out. But then other ones present themselves. It's just like this assembly line of trade setups, you know, and then the ones closer to, you know, the earlier when Bitcoin bottomed out, you know, they're able to play out. And then the ones like closer to the reversal on Bitcoin that we just saw today, they're not going to be able to play out, or they're not even going to be able to launch. But look what happened to Link, you know, that's pretty cool. I'm checking on it now. Really cool wick touch of the heart line for rallying, and then you just look at the daily. Where is it? You know, it's like it hit the supply line of the upsloping channel. It had been up thrusting, and just huge bearish engulfing candle today. But yeah, recovering some, only because Bitcoin's recovering some. Once Bitcoin starts selling off, Asia starts selling it off, and it starts going to retest 39,000 or 53,900. I mean, this thing's gonna keep dumping. So, it, like, you can clearly see not a low risk area, right? Not a low risk area on Link up here. I mean, the lower risk areas are gonna be what, at the bottom of the channel, right? So I mean, maybe at 3380, there might be something that develops on the 4 hour that we could look at. Somehow XLM's doing great, up 7% today. Jeez, he's another one like that. It was in the graduating class of the bullish sharks and bats, the 886s, right? This one, Tezos, KNC, and this one just has decided to not stop, right? It was at a major inflection point, back testing the old inflection point, right? It broke it and then back tested it, held it as support, and then ran. And what did it do? From the high to low on XLM, hit a 1272 fib extension for reversing, and it's still, again, just back testing the same old inflection point as support. Not really showing much bearish divergence. No, that's bullish convergence technically. So it is hanging in there with Bitcoin, but now below that April 14th high. So again, right, you can't, there's probably a demand line here that's holding pretty well. Yeah, you never even tested the bottom of the demand line. So not at value areas for a long or anything, strategic entry, but really strong. 7.5% up today. Awesome. Oh, we gotta look at Doge, right? Doge wrecked, dude. Get wrecked. Not oversold. No bullish divergence or anything like that. I mean, there's one bottom and a second bottom here, but I don't like the 4 hour. You normally want there to be divergence now, and there's no clear divergence at all. So you are at a very critical point, an inflection point, where what was once resistance could hopefully be support. Maybe you're double bottoming off of the old highs once and twice. So I can just paint it on Doge. But if it doesn't hold, man, oh god, it'd be terrible. So it's interesting to think about, right? Oh, I love how you broke out of the channel, you rallied to back test what was once support as resistance before, and that's confirmation for dumping again. So you gotta think about it like this. This is kind of like similar in ways, kind of, to what Ethereum did way back. Not way back, but at one point when it broke its old all-time high, it back tested it twice and rallied pretty hard. So that is an interesting thing. Will this hold? I don't think it will if Bitcoin keeps selling off. No way. I mean, right, will this hold, chat? We're just looking at it. Doesn't look very strong right now.
I just went 15
No exhaustion from sellers implied.
Then cause of Bitcoin. Do you think BTC is getting more wrecked? RIP my life's savings.
Well, I mean, no one ever here has ever taught going all in on a position. That's kind of like inverse taught here. Like, you know, position sizing is very important. What you traded on the last asset, you wanted the same position on this one and the next, because nothing's certain, right? Like trade setups they're just like, yeah, you're looking for strategic entries, maybe with a little value, and they can fail. You have stop losses set up, and that's it. So I don't know about Shiba. There's no intrinsic value in Shiba. There's probably a stupid amount of supply like Doge, and they're meme assets. Shiba created because Doge existed. That's not a good reason to exist, you know. Tepid off-brand meme coin. Wow, this is at least the Coca-Cola of meme coins, right, Doge? So You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what's just going on. So I don't know if it's going to bounce here. I mean, assets sometimes do bounce on the second low, but you know, there's just no way it's going to be able to hold this support if Bitcoin dumps some more. So what were y'all saying? Did y'all think, I was just saying, like, will this hold? 37 to 41 cents. Bullish cyber. If it's a bullish cyber, that means it's going down here to like 26 cents, just eyeballing it, man. Like if you're talking about X, A, B, C, then D's way deeper. This is like 50% territory from your previous low to high. So yeah, it's not done if you're looking at like a harmonic. I don't like the lower high here created. There's no value, I don't think. No value, and there's no signal right now. I'd feel a lot better about Dogecoin if on this low you had a huge spike in negative momentum, and then on this second low it was very discernible that you saw a different separation of histogram islands, and you know what your classic bullish divergence looks like on a second low. It doesn't look like this, so I just don't think there's enough of an edge to really be that confident. But this is definitely a point where it can reverse nicely, or it breaks down and gets wrecked. An inflection point is what it's called. You don't know what it's going to do, but you know when it holds long enough, it could have a huge rally, but also this is where it could break down and get wrecked. So, okay. Do I just want to look at Doge? Why not? I mean, I want you to see this. Like, if you're concerned about Bitcoin, maybe just take a look at another market and see what happened here. Very, very bad. You know, this is a QQQ, NASDAQ 100. You know, you got like Google, Amazon, Microsoft, Apple make up 40% of this ETF, and it got routed today. You know, down 2.53%, down another 0.3% after market close. Very bad. You know, Biden spoke today about the economy. This dude should never speak about the economy, dude. Look at it. I mean, look at the channel you were in. And it was crazy. You up thrusted a couple times the channel, you sold off and you rallied, and look how you kind of confirmed the channel's supply line is real again, you know, after up thrusting. And so Heartline's 322, a lot of downside, one high, a second high. Look how visible this is. I hope this underperforms because the money printer is just so right, so strong. But look at the weekly again. You know, you got this potential double top stuff. You gapped down technically. Look, you closed the week 334. You open the new week at 332.65. You know, looks like you're going to actually really fill a gap tomorrow, probably 324.77. So I don't know, man. Like, it never really looks good when you make a high and a slightly higher high and you start reversing. You know, after it's like all this bearish divergence continued. You just continue to show divergence on. I mean, since the 24th of August, man, look, just extending on out. Every time you make a high, including this previous time, you just keep making lower levels of relative strength. When is the divergence going to play out? Because it just keeps existing. It keeps coming back. Like, even on the MACD, you could even just say, all right, look at it. Look, almost inexistent positive momentum on the slightly higher high. It's like shorting the thrust up. You just got to hate it, man. I hate the way the weekly looks on the Qs, but hey, man, every time it sells off, it just makes a higher low and runs again. Okay, you know, market's too strong. So I wanted to show you that because that, like, I'm talking at the exact same time as Bitcoin was dumping, these mega caps or these tech stocks were dumping too. So it was in unison. They are synced back up, are they not? S&P, not a good day, but still a lot better than the Qs, you know, overall. Right, you definitely look at this freaking supply line, man, on the daily. Where I just, like, you know, created back here in February, just been flirting with it, but you just tested it and then you reversed and you filled a gap at least. But man, this is what I hate, dude. There's so many gaps to fill. Look, there's a gap to fill at 4,020, gap to fill 39.79, and then another one 39.12. Right, there's just a lot of gaps down there that could easily be filled, and this is you could reverse at a supply line. It makes sense. But we'll see. Whatever, you know. Money printer just keeps going burr. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the rotation's been going on for, God, like 7 months now, from growth to value. So many value names, right? So it's cool to be rewarded at least on positions that made sense to long, right? Like Kellogg today. Remember, entry was down here at like $56, $57 because it was a Gartley. It was you know, it was at low risk areas, clearly, you know, like there was so much seller exhaustion, and it created a bull flag, and then earnings killed it. Man, it's so nice. Everything's changed, right? And then you had this low down here, May of 2019, then the higher low, March 25th, 2020, and the higher low again. So you have very quiet amounts of accumulation now is running, and it has broken out. You have a confirmed daily close breakout above that July 2013 high. Very, very notable. And the longer, you know, if it's not a fake out, which always could be a fake out for sure, but if any close above that, I mean, 72, 71 is a target. You know, that's definitely a target. Top of the harmonic. I mean, C is technically a target too. So it's like Kellogg and IBM, you know, they just did, this one's crazy, man. God, IBM was trying to break out again today. This supply line goes all the way back to the year 2013. 2013. So multi-year downtrend supply line being tested the past couple days on IBM. But, you know, again, not getting wrecked, not dumping 4%. Hey, Bitcoin, man. Bitcoin's 56,100 roughly. It's still holding on somehow. But remember, all right, it's just like, hey, you're gonna leave the stream because you're good. You're limited on time. I got it. Remember, I think if you're kind of concerned, you go to the daily and you look and you say, all right, remember this engulfing candle right here. I think Bitcoin's in good shape until it invalidates this 53,250. That means you'd have to get a daily candle close below 53,276. So that's still alive, including the other one, the first engulfing candle. So this one, though, we're monitoring, and all's well until that breaks. Okay, on the daily. Yeah, a lot of chop, man. Really, really tough to trade, right? Bitcoin, man, because it's not performing well. It's a really bad performer. Like, you know, it's amazing how it respected the TA and the 786 of the, you know, pattern completion zone and cipher. It rallied, but man, it's just been tough. Just so much supply on Bitcoin, not enough demand at the same time, and that might have a lot to do with this altcoin market that's absolutely ludicrous. Ethereum running the show, still above $4,000. I mean, it's just almost impossible to believe this asset's up. And the thing is, remember the comparative analysis between Bitcoin and Ethereum. Once Bitcoin broke 2K back in 2017, but it chopped around for a while. Then it fell below $2,000. So, but then it sprung. Remember the action of, you know, falling below critical support and then breaking back above it. That's called the spring. After Bitcoin sprung, it goes from $2,000 to $5,000 in 45 days. I believe Ethereum now, after bouncing off 2,000 as support, it's only about 19, 20 days into its ascent. So let me try to find the chart again. So I can just, you know, reiterate kind of, because that's all we kind of got, man. Like, you know, people ask, like, what's Ethereum gonna do? When's it gonna pull back? And it's like, dude, I mean, all you can do is go by history, because it's so kind of unprecedented. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so like top of the screen is Bitcoin back in July of 2017. In the bottom chart is Ethereum. Now, or not now, but like recently, you know, and this was $2,000. This was the spring I was talking about. It was a 45-day period where Bitcoin appreciated in value 142%, and then hit 5,000 before reversing. And so Ethereum was at 33,894 when I posted this, and it was only 16 days in, so you've gone up substantially since then. So and you're just thinking about the same type of price action that an asset's going to get when it breaks above 2K for real. It'd go to 5K. So you look at history, and that's what all TA kind of is, right? You look at history to look for opportunity. Not so much like this, but I'm talking about using the TA that's taught in here, right? Like harmonic patterns, M patterns, W patterns, double bottoms, 3 rising valleys, ascending triangles, descending triangles. You're looking at things that played out in the past, right? Over 50% of the time, you look for those, you identify those to strategize where one will be taken a long or a short, right? So repeatable stuff. Okay. It's cool though, 4,020.
Is that a joint?
Also 4,200
Is that a joint?
going on. So what held strong today? You know, I mean, like, you know, what actually closed the day up today somewhat, a little bit before, you know, pulling back. Remember golds? Remember that time gold was like at a congestion area, started momentum shifting stuff and broke out and hit that target, you know, and it's now just kind of meandering on up there. It could definitely pull back for sure. There's no bearish divergence or anything on the 4 hour. I mean, I think gold could eventually see 1857, which would be another target, and then 1900 plus after that. But no big deal. Like gold, anything above 1800 on gold is bullish. 1800 is a steel wall, man. I mean, it's like everything. Gold, like 1800 is like, I think 1800 is like the most important support resistance that exists on this chart, like by far, because it's just, I get the old all-time high is 1900, but it's one time, straight up, straight down, one peak, right? Two peaks if you zoom in, but you really see like over a period of time, November of 2011, February 2012, October of 2012, 3 different major discernible peaks makes, I think, that the most important, the top, right? That, so you're above it. So anything above it has a higher probability of eventually just running straight up to $1897, $1900, and I think that's probably where it's headed to test. But again, you have a very well established correction going on, and with that, you're going to have a trend line that confines it, you know, in these parameters, right? Like you got one touch point August 7th. 2020, January 2021, and now it's upon you again. You're below the 200-day moving average. So there's a lot of work that still has to be done for gold, but dude, you just got to be optimistic about gold fundamentally because of money printer, and it's been suppressed for so long, and we know it's in a multi-year uptrend. We know that. The composite operator acquired their position. We know the composite operator for gold is central banks. All right, we know that. So, okay, corrected way longer than average, but that's okay. While a lot of other asset classes ran, these didn't. So gold and silver, it's going to have its time in the sun again. There was just like, I think there are a lot of new market participants. I don't think y'all were around. We were covering gold every day. There were so many beautiful bullish trade setups that were successful this whole way up. It was so nice. But yeah, party closed on the buying climax at 2076 all-time highs. And it does seem, based on the, I don't know, the economic conditions, things that are going on, gold's going to see all-time highs again, you know, at some point. So it could be, this is, what do you call this too? This is also an inflection point, right? Anything above this area could go insane bullishly. Anything below it could get real bad. That's why I was concerning being below that. But you showed the double bottom, tweezer bottom, and the bullish divergence that set you free and got you back above that inflection point. So anything above that, you're in really good shape on gold. So just saying, you're a gold bull above 1800. You might be a gold bear below 1750, 1800. Okay, anyway, moving on. Let's just look at silver, and then we'll just get to some requests or whatever. There aren't many, so I'm just looking at just a bunch of different assets. You know, this is typical on days like this. Anything above $26 is hyper bullish on silver. Stupidly bullish on silver above $26. Like, ridiculous, okay? Like that. That's its own respective, most important, crazy, critical ice line that exists on the chart. 26 bucks. You're above it. All right. Anything above it, if it looks straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down. Why would it not eventually repeat its price action history between $26 and where it ran straight up to? And it was only once that it ran, or a couple times it ran straight up to $31. It really ran up to $35. And that's like the hard target. The hard target on silver eventually is $35, above $26. Yeah, just patience required. But technically, it is far superior to gold. Technically, yeah. Based on the higher lows, the accumulation with the sell wall, far greater than a downsloping consolidation structure, in my opinion. Because there's so much demand on the asset, the market participants will not let it make lower lows. That's so bullish, in my opinion. We'll see.
Mark Zuckerberg named his pet goat Bitcoin, and now it's pumping. Check Twitter.
Did he really? Just fake news. I'm getting trolled here. I mean, it's so easy to believe, you know. It's literally so easy to believe. Oh yeah, dude. Totally. Zuckerberg owns a goat as a pet, and he named it Bitcoin, of course. Hey, I'm good with Mark Zuckerberg as long as it's not Mark Ray, you know. I don't even know how to get Mark Zuckerberg. A mod can post it if they want, right? A mod, if you want to post the link to that, I'll accept it so I can click on it, all right?
BitBoy Crypto has just publicly called you a snake oil salesman in HS public Discord.
Cool, dude. That's great. I don't care what someone says about me. That's awesome, dude. They should focus on their own community, right? Why? What makes me a snake oil salesman? What? Look, dude, you join the Patreon because you're supporting what I do as a content creator. That's it. Right? I mean, there are trade setups and education, and like, if you want to stick around to continue supporting the stream and you like those trades or whatever, those setups, fine. No one's saying, like, you have to join.
Is that a join?
Can you please check out CRV? Thanks.
Thanks, Biomai. Biomai. Friggin' horse.
Is that a join?
Oh, sorry, it's 2 times. Yeah, dude. I don't know, man. Like, whatever. People can call me all the names they want. I you know, I'm just trying to help people, but hey, some people will perceive me as not helping people, I guess. That's the way the world works. But, I don't know, the many thousands of testimonials, messages I've received that say I've changed their life forever in a way where they were at their lowest point, and look at them now. Like, there's just no way. How can you be that? And I've been on, you know, snake oil salesmen's, like, they move on to the next town and they scam new people. It's like, I don't know, I've been on the same platform for 3+ years, you know. Oh my god, dude, there it is. Here it is, chat. Max and Bitcoin. His goats. I guess that's real. Call me what you want, man, but whatever, dude. Join the Discords. Oh, by the way, send me a screenshot of that or fake news anyway. It's probably lying. Whoever that was tipping, probably just bull crapping. Like Toy Plane, who are you, dude? You've never tipped before, ever, So provide some documentation or just fake news. It's called debating without documentation. People do it all the time. They're trying to get me to talk crap about him, but I haven't said anything bad about him. I'm not going to take the bait, So prove it to me. Show it to me. Show me a screenshot.
I take my financial advice from the GOAT, Dollar Bill's face.
Okay. Sounds good.
Is that a joint?
I guess that's me. I mean, I'm not that. I'm certainly not the GOAT, which is greatest of all time. It's an acronym. That's not me, dude. I'm just a regular guy with a webcam and a microphone. That's it. I've never claimed to be anything else, right? That's the problem. People think that I'm something else. I'm not anything beyond that. So it's like, stop putting me on a pedestal, and then you won't call me a scammer because I never claimed to be anything. I'm a live streamer that loves technical analysis and charting, and I've been studying it for over 10 years. That's all it is. That's all I care about is charts. Yeah, Tom Brady, exactly. That's what he meant, actually. Because that guy is the greatest of all time. That's indubitable. That is a known thing. He is the best quarterback that's walked the earth. Tom Brady, yep. I hate saying it, too, because his last collegiate game I was at. And his team beat my team in the Orange Bowl in 1999, or 2000, I guess, at that point, because our kicker missed the PAT in overtime. Great. Yes, Coach Saban is also the good, but just a college football coaching, absolutely. Okay, let's see. Lumen. On the yearly. I don't really know what the yearly's going to do for you, dude, but a yearly candle? Really? You actually want to see that? I have to create it because I never look at it.
Hey.
So, Matthew D. Hale, that's Hale State. So, thanks, man.
Don't fall for the rumor bait. Anyways, I got your back.
It's called debating. Oh, I know, dude. I didn't fall for it. Now, I'm talking about like whatever. Someone maybe out there called me that at one point. I don't really. Whatever, man. The yearly candle. I can't even believe it. Lumen's been around since 1972. It's pretty psychotic, right? It's like a huge XABCD. And then you go down to the all-time low from 1974 to an all-time high back in 2007. It's not quite at the 886 yet, though, but it's at the 786. That's where it's reversing, 786. Unfortunately, there's no edge on the... Listen, if you're watching this, every candle here represents 1 year, 365 days. So you're on this year, 2021, you're getting a bullish engulfing candle, but you've got 234 days and 22 hours till it's confirmed, so we have no idea. It's way too slow. But yeah, there could be value areas, but there could be even deeper value areas on this asset. It's $6, so it's just...
Take about my lord.
Is that a joint?
I don't even claim to be that. I don't claim to be anything, all right? I mean, people label me good, bad, ugly, pretty, stupid, smart, scammer, savant. Literally, I've been named everything. I've been labeled as everything, and it's just like I'm none of those things. Nothing. Okay. Like, if you watch me long enough, you know what I am. And you can draw your own opinion about me, right? So, cool. I don't know. Lumen, cool. It's great to see that, right? From its old all-time high. Old all-time low to high. Maybe we go to the daily. Maybe there's like... maybe the weekly would be better. It's just been such a bad trend, dude. God. Now, maybe it's approaching a very critical area. Yeah, I mean, this is a big inflection point. A really big inflection point on Lumen. On the weekly. It's that old all-time high back from 1993. The issue is you haven't really made a higher low yet. But man, you're at the 200-week moving average. Good God. So a lot of good things going on. But if you can break 1487 and the 200-week moving average at the same time, I mean, you understand this could run straight up to 2316, or at least, you know, the wick low. I'll plot that too. Get it, right? The history you receive on Lumen, like between $15 and $21, is straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down. So if it breaks $15 again, the probability is really, really high that it's going to go straight back up to $21 to $23. You get that? So that's one thing I can tell you. Normally you want to see nice accumulation, you know, leading up to that, breaking it, but you haven't yet. But it's huge. You just know, like, wow, dude, you break that, you're gonna have a really good time. That's definitely what could happen. So, you know, you wanted me to look at the yearly, but I'm looking at the weekly, and the weekly is very interesting. All it has to do is break 15, add an alert, set up an alert or something, you know. It bullishly engulfed last week, and it's testing the 200 moving average again. I mean, up 2% today, that's great. All right, testing it, no break yet. Nice engulfing candle last week, so that's a signal, maybe a buying signal. Okay, wait a minute. Yeah, CTI. You didn't request it, but it's just gonna be funny to look at for a second, you know. Why not? Like, who cares? We looked at it yesterday. You know, it looks phenomenal. Like, I get it, all the scam wicks, that's illiquidity, but it's maintaining, right? It's up still 23.45% today. So, like the first target, the trade set at 32.6 cents. It got as high yesterday as 28.966 cents. So I just, you know, I think this is just normalizing and kind of respecting the TA the normal way, where it's just more methodical and eventually gets there. That's normally what happens. Eventually you hit targets. You don't hit them in less than 4 hours of analyzing it. You know, that's not really how it happens. So patience required. Patience. Yeah, who's got 7 years to wait for Lumen to triple up? Yeah, I know, it's pathetic, dude, right? That's why you don't look at the yearly, kind of. But again, if you look at the weekly, it breaks $15, boom, it's going to go up 25% really fast. So that's why you look at the weekly, you know, it shows a lot more than the daily.
Do you think there's a circumcised MACD confluence showing on the ETH monthly chart?
Chris, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Thank you. I mean, we can look at the Ethereum monthly chart, but that's as far as I'll go. All right. We just met. Just kidding. All right, CTI, see you at 32 cents eventually. Not immediately, not like yesterday, just eventually. So, kids' colors, Bitcoin look like bottomed out, oversold in the 4 hour. But the opposite on the daily, it looking overbought. Is Bitcoin looking overbought on the daily, huh? No, Bitcoin is not looking overbought on the daily. You understand what overbought means, right? It's signified by being above 70 on the relative strength index, as it's now at 49. It's literally neutral. So certainly Bitcoin is not overbought on this time scale. And it's not in trouble until you get a daily candle close below 53,128. That's when I think you're going to start dealing with an X, A, B, C, D, or you could go all the way down to 48K for a pattern completion zone of like a bullish cipher or bullish shark, a smaller one than the larger one. So yeah, you want to hold up here, man. Thanks for the 1,500 people tuned in. Hey, at least some people like me, I guess, right? Not everyone. A lot of people hate me, but whatever. Well, there was a time and place to care about this asset.
Love streams like today. I learned so much more. Thank you, bro.
Yeah, these are the most difficult streams for the streamer, always. Momo Shift.
Is that a joint?
Thanks, dude. Toughest because it's like, like it looked good yesterday on Bitcoin and just it failed. It
What
faked
books would
out.
you recommend after reading Trading Psychology by Mark Douglas? Thanks for the daily TA masterclass.
Trading Psychology, Mark Douglas, or you mean Trading the Zone? There's also, he has another one. He has another book. Check out all the Mark Douglas books, but Evolution of a Trader by Thomas Bulkowski is good. I like recommending the one we read after that. And then I always recommend the David Weiss Trades About to Happen book. I think that's really good. It's not too bad. It's not too complex. And then there's like Steve Neeson's Japanese Candlestick book. That's a real good one. I mean, you can go a bunch of different routes depending on what you want. Like, think about learning technical analysis. It's everyone's at different paces, and everyone responds differently to different aspects of technical analysis. Some people, there's like most of the time, I think how people get into technical analysis is there's one aspect that really, really resonates with them as making sense, right? Like some people just think reward to risk trading and like position sizing, all that is incentivizing enough to get into technical analysis. Some people just like me, for instance, once I learned about Japanese candlestick patterns, I was obsessed. I was like, I got to learn all these. I want to learn every single Japanese candlestick reversal. And then I started learning about like divergence and trends and higher highs, higher lows, lower highs, lower lows, and then you just Fibonacci. So it just depends where you are and what you want to do. So RLC is up 14% today, but just looking back in hindsight, because if an asset's up 14%, let's look at what the composite operator did, how wonderful it was, right? This was like the same structure, dude, that Bitcoin was kind of showing, not on the daily, but on the 4-hour yesterday, right? You get it, a predictable pattern. It's like 1 valley, 2, 3, and it's like these two. It was like a confirmation low, back testing the old all-time high from July of last year as support, not once but twice. And then when it did that, and it had hidden bullish divergence, and then it went nuts, right? So you kind of get it, classic accumulation structure, but the fact is the accumulation structure was back testing old resistance as support twice. Not one time you have no idea. The second time is confirmation that yes, it's very true. And then there's your bullish engulfing candle right there, would have been like the buying signal on RLC. Just looking back, because again, I'm going to look at it now, and I'm not going to be able to look at I'm not going to be able to do anything. I'm just looking at it. It's like, yeah, it's at its all-time high. It went as high as 1648 today. 1648. It's 1160 now. Extremely volatile. Oh wow, what an indecision candle. Just a lot of volume. At this point, like, there's nothing I can do. Nothing I can do, man. Because it's like, there's no data. The data is a straight line up and a buying climax, and could be getting to correct, or it goes up, whatever. You get the difference between looking at an asset where it is now and looking at an asset where it would have made a lot more sense, right? To look at something, 1, 2, even locally, it was like a confirmation low. That's just so amazing. Still waiting on that screenshot from the Jabater, because I guarantee you that that guy, whatever his name is, BitBoy, I bet you he didn't say anything. Okay, moving on. RLC, you get it? Yeah, RLC. That's like when you request an asset, you're normally looking. You would be finding assets that are doing stuff like RLC was doing back here, April 19th, April 23rd. That's when you're requesting. You're throwing down 20, and you're like, oh my god, dude, do you see this? Do you see what it's doing at this level? And you're like, oh my god, you're right, man. It is doing absolutely insanely bullish things, you know, and could be actionable, but there's certainly no action anyone reasonable could take right now. No one could take any action on this and it make any kind of sense. There's no argument right now for taking a trade. There's always got to be an argument of some sort. Yeah, it's pretty bad. I mean, you know, welcome to Bitcoin. You just never know how these micro caps are going to respond to Bitcoin volatility, and this one got wrecked. You know, it's still the critical area, but this is where it could turn into 100. Well, that's not. It's so bad. I mean, right? I mean, it's like done. You know, anything below 31, if it can hold, is great. But now there's nothing implying upside yet. Like it was diverging and then just didn't play out. And if Bitcoin wasn't dumping, this would probably be fine. You know, anything above 33.85 is bullish. Anything below it, anything below 32.59 is bearish. Right? It's not good. But you could clearly see the zone. Right? Hold that zone long enough and start rallying, then everything's okay. But so we need more data. Mysteries abound. You need to see how this price is going to respond to the area it's in. That's it. I don't know, man. Someone requested it, and it's like, okay.
Sweaty Jalapeno super chatted $50. Can we get a spin and a pin update?
Yeah, we'll look at it. But yeah, I mean, welcome to illiquid S coins. You know, we looked at it and it pumped up to $40. You know, $40 and goes to $30. Wow, 25% swings and stuff. You know, so maybe it's like this is where maybe Scott Carney's little indicator will be going off. The little moon will be showing up or something. But you need more data, and you need Bitcoin to recover. Otherwise, this thing looks like it's got a high beta to Bitcoin price action. It's not going to do well if Bitcoin keeps selling off. So I think this is completely screwed if Bitcoin wants to go down and test 52,640, which is another critical support. So Sweaty Jalapenos, thanks too. We'll look at Penn. Yep. Yeah, Hageki, man, it did. It looked good. But it's just a great example of never going all in. And, you know, it's a brand new S coin. It looked like cake and bake. It literally did. But
TH on the 4 hours, double bottomed supported previous resistance near 2.60. Price targets of 4.20 then 5.60. What do you think?
We can look, Chris. Thank you, man. If you want, sure. Just failing. I mean, just unable to break that 356. I mean, I can understand why. I can certainly understand why.
Rise and valleys on FDM. Kind of messed up due to the BTC dump.
Oh, we can look at it. Yeah, everything got messed up. A lot of things got messed up bad. So here's your CRV. still showing accumulation with the sell wall, a failed breakout April 16th of that high. I mean, that goes back to a candle high close from August of last year. That's why it was always there. You just failed to break it, and now you're selling off again. And I mean, it's fine as long as it keeps making higher lows. Eventually could break 356. At the same time, if it can, you know, Bitcoin really sells off. I mean, the bottom of the range probably would be like 180. So I mean, it's got a lot of downside too if this market takes a turn for the worse.
Hey Mitch, off the wall question. What do you think about more individuals running their own Bitcoin/ETH node?
I mean, probably good, right? The more decentralized it is, we're talking about, you know, there's just so much mining going on in China. The more people that do mining outside of communist China, the better, right? So I'm all for it, right? Because what is communism? Collectivism. We don't like collectivism. We are all about individualism. Yes. So go ahead and individually mine your cryptos. Sure. Thanks, dude. But beyond that, man, just I like the TA. I like charts. Unsure about. Could be wrong, right? So CRV would eventually, if it could ever break the sell wall, which there's a certain sell wall at 356. If it ever broke it, the target's still 533, but it hasn't done it and may not, right? It just confirmed a lower high than the previous high. You're selling off, and let's see if it could maybe hold the demand line that's way down at 250. That's it. CRV still looks fine, but again, it was at an inflection point, which is inflection points are always top of ranges, bottom of ranges. At the inflection point, it reversed, unfortunately. Next one. It's PIN. Alright, cool. Man, just disappointing, isn't it? But again, it's one of those that's in a weird spot. It's one of those that's in a really weird context where it's like, yeah, demand line, but then, okay, now it's testing the 200-day moving average for the first time since May of last year. It's been an entire year since this asset has seen this. So 886 is a shark, then it could go to 113%. 113% is down here, which I think we talked about. That would make way more sense because, right, pin at the September 21st high, you haven't tested that. You've never tested that as support. That's the target. 76.38 is the target for pin. And at that same level, it's like 113% retrace. So that would be what you'd be waiting for. It fell out of the channel. I mean, that's a clear, concise demand. You can clearly see the demand line. So many times it's touched it, and it touched it again initially April 21st. It failed. No demand, and the macro sucks, and, you know, macro's just not been going well for some sectors. And, yep, 113% retrace. So 76.38 is your target. Now, let's see what kind of reaction you get at a back test of an old all-time high from September last year as support. So you always have it, right? Between the 886 and the 113% retrace is the PCZ. It's not as simple as a Gartley, right? Or a crab where it's like, you know, it's the 161, you know, it's 786. This is 886 or 113%. 113% makes way more strategic sense based on the old high. There's your pin.
Hey Mitch, can you look at BCH? Thanks.
So Rolls-Royce Network, thanks, dude. Recently saw an awesome 1927 up close. 1927 Rolls-Royce. It was beautiful, dude. So maybe add an alert at 76.38 on pin. This is a shark. This is a bullish shark. But not in the best context, right? What's the best context ever? Right, after a huge markup, and then a big buying climax, and then a big correction that lasts for weeks or whatever, and then that's the deep retrace levels. Right, the best harmonic context is going to be something like Link to BTC, right? Like, this is the best context, right? Well, it doesn't show all the data, but you know, it had a huge rally, then a buying climax and sold off for months, and then created the harmonic. That's what you want. This low risk. Up here, it's a lot more weird. You know, it's a lot like, I don't know, man. It's there, but it's just not as strong. I don't think its probability is as high as playing out up here as it would be in a context of something like Link or like Tron to BTC last summer. Or Bitcoin in 2019, early 2019, the 3150, 3343 XND, and it went to 14K off that 3343 entry, you know, so those are best context harmonics. Certainly not at any area that would be actionable on FTM. Like I get what maybe what you're saying, but it's almost just like FTM here, major inflection point, high risk area, right? You're testing the old all-time high from February 25th, 1 time 2, 3, 4. You say 3 rising valleys, but I'd be like, it's holding a demand line, right? It's like an upsloping channel. So it's bouncing, but I just think the risk is so, because like you know the low risk area is 37 cents and it's at 76 cents. So it's just not, I don't know, something like this. You want lower risk areas. And look at that. Look where it went. When 26 cents back test that old June or that January 28th high as support for the first time, literally kind of ever. So it's just, I mean, I understand. There's higher lows consecutively. There's also higher highs, but dude, it's the zone, right? It's the congestion zone, inflection point where, sure, if it breaks out for real, it could go insane. But this is also literally the exact same level where a major disgusting reversal to the downside could occur, right? So I'm just talking about, okay, it breaks it, that could happen. But at the same time, this is exactly where this can happen. So it's just tough, man. Tough to be like, oh, I love it, man. That's why you're always looking for, that's why value trades are better than continuation trades, because of that whole just, inflection point stuff. Bitcoin Cash down 7.7%, hit 1556 twice, so it is double topping pretty bad. Very nasty bearish divergence on the second top. It's not good, man. Not good for now. This, you know, it's hit its targets, right? The Bitcoin Cash, dude, is like, you know, so it's another one of those, oh, okay, you know, like it's double top in 1556. Okay, it hit the, so what is 1556? That's the golden mean ratio. That would have been maybe a fourth target or something. April 24th trade set up on Bitcoin Cash, whatever, who cares, you know, but I'm just showing you, 3 targets of a trade get hit, and it goes above it to the 1618 and double tops there. I mean, you just can't be surprised if a more major pullback could occur at these levels. It's just duh.
Yo, Mitch, can you look at tree? Stop.
Yeah, Victor, thanks, man. We'll look at tree, sure. So do I need to do it? I mean, I can just show you. It's like one peak and a second peak, a confirmation high. Confirmation high where? That's at 1556. We ended up plotting when it was testing it the first time, and look how it's going. It was a candle high close on the daily. Oh, it's just this candle high close in February 2018 and December 2017, and I mean clearly 2018, right? So it hits that, hits targets, and then reverses. So bearish engulfing candle in the midst of being painted on Bitcoin Cash. But understand, the trend is very bullish, and the trend is not in jeopardy of being lost. It's not over until it falls below $762. So I just don't look at it. Higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, and it's just reversing again, just like it did in April, just like it did in February, just like it did in January. You know, it's just, that's what happens, man. So you get a pullback, you eventually maybe back test 875 again, and it's still going to be in a bullish trend. So the trend, the long-term trend is not in jeopardy. But yeah, like when a trade setup hits all its targets and then it goes like a little bit higher and double tops, like duh, yeah, more major pullback could occur, or makes an 88% retrace from that previous discernible low from April 22nd. And then it ends up being something like this, like XAB, CD. 88% retrace is just right around that 875 area. I mean, that is something that could be going on, you know, like it could be pulling back a lot more.
Thanks to that EA on these down days, always learning and appreciate it all.
What's up, Latrice?
Thanks for the 10, dude. We'll look at Ocean. Yep, met the minimum criteria. Okay, that's all I got to say about Bitcoin Cash. If you don't get it now, I don't know what else I could say. Good God, man. Ocean, look what it did. It hit inflection points, an old all-time high from March 7th. And then, you know, price action, March 22nd, up thrust. So that's all that's going on. It's just failing. It's like inverse spring back test of inverse spring, you know, 164, 168. It's extremely important. And now you're down another congestion area, other inflection points. So you need to hold that. So much chop, man. From the top of the range, kind of to the bottom of the range. I don't see anything that looks like promising right now. It's a long opportunity. I see it's nice that it's holding this. You know, you really want to hold 130. It's like 130 to 138. It's just like so much congestion. Pull this out. Extend it right there. That's that candle high close from February 12th. So if we can hold this, then it'll probably run back up to 165, 168. You know, because it's like straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down. So, you know, hold this congestion. You'll be fine. If you don't hold this, my God, you could be in a lot of trouble, or you could fall all the way down to $1 again. So it just went a straight line down. So what is it long? Like, you know, from its highest point to its lowest point today, what did Ocean do? Oh, Ocean just, you know, nonchalant 23% sell off in 8 hours. Maybe a little more than 8 hours. Wow, that's just welcome to crypto. When assets lose 25% in less than a day. That doesn't happen on equities. Like equities don't, I mean, unless there's a bad earnings or something insane happens, assets don't swing 25% almost every day like these cryptos do. So welcome to it. Yep. That's it, man. It's the request. So I've been live an hour and a half anyway. So I guess if you're enjoying the live stream, like button, the bullet sub. I don't even care on days like this. Like whatever. You don't have to hit the like button. No one's happy about, you know, sell-offs and stuff, and everyone's mad and whatever. You know, it looked good. And look, we've seen this structure. Look at this pattern. You know. Look at it. It's in the uptrend. It shows 1, 2, 3, and then you go to like Micron, and then you look at this. I mean, it's like 1, 2, 3. Hold on. Like 1, 2, 3. I mean, it's like 1 valley, 2 valleys, 3 valleys. Oh, okay, 2 peaks. That's in an uptrend already. Okay, and it goes nuts. It goes insane. Yeah, look at this, man. Look at Micron. Yeah, dude. Micron, bearish crab pattern. Beautiful. Bearish deep crab pattern, excuse me, 88% retrace. So hit 97, that's old all-time highs from the year 2000. Look at your triple topping, 1, 2, 3 tops up there on Micron. This is harmonic stuff right here, dude. So this is like definitely where it looks like it's reversing, topping out. could have a lot further to fall. I mean, it could go all the way back to 63.54 to test it, but I'm just showing you like what we looked at yesterday on Bitcoin. You see it here on Micron. You go to VeChain back from 2019 or 2020, right? You go all the way back here, and then it's just the same thing. Or is it? Look, I mean, now where is this thing? Huh? I guess my work didn't save on this or something. 3 rising valleys that played out brilliantly at one point. I don't know. I can't find it. Huh. VeChain had one. It was a trade setup on VeChain way back. 3 rising valleys. But, I mean, here's another one, but it's not quite the same thing. Anyway, sorry, going on a tangent here with 3 rising valleys. It's just the same predictable pattern stuff, and that's just what we identified yesterday. I mean, the same. Look, it's another like 3 rising valleys on VeChain locally. I forgot recently. You know, it hits one target, literally hits one target, and then never hits a second or third and reverses. But it's still holding on. It's above the 200 moving average. It's still above 20 cents, so it's not dead yet. All right, it's just gonna follow Bitcoin. What's going on?
Hey Mitch, can you take a look at Theta? Is it still on the road to 2.00? In trouble? Thanks, Bucko.
Oh, look at it. I mean, it can't. If Bitcoin dumps, it's not going to do it. But if Bitcoin can hold on, yeah, sure. I think it eventually would, yeah. Like, 3 rising valleys, man, they're just everywhere. And it's just like, for anyone to like bite my head off about identifying it on Bitcoin yesterday, it's like clearly just, what do you want, man? It's like, it happens and they either play out or they fail. And just today wasn't good for the macro. It looks like Bitcoin synced up with tech again. You know, it's just like, look, VeChain, 3 rising, 1, 2, the classic accumulation in an uptrend, so after a pullback, you know, it's like, okay, cool, sweet, look, burp, hits one target, and that's it. It didn't hit the second or third target. It's too weak. If Bitcoin was going nuts, VeChain's certainly gonna hit those targets. It can't perform with the macro dragging on it so hard. High beta. What was requested? Something. Oh, you wanted to go back to pin real quick? Sure. Something about a cipher. 786 cipher X anchored November 30th. November 30th. Oh. Okay, I got you. Jeez. 786 is, dude, it's almost confluent, right? I mean, that 113% on the small one, different anchor point, right? It's only slightly below it. So you think, like, that's it. That's confluence, right? 2 different anchor points. One's the 886, the other one's the 786, and both of them are very close to a critical ice line. So X marks the spot, right? That's a lot stronger, more strategic area to maybe place your bet than now, right? Or even at 87.80. Does that make sense? So yeah, whatever. Anchor differently, different harmonics, but almost the exact same pattern completion zone, and they're both at critical supports, old all-time highs. Hopefully that makes sense. See? I mean, it's perfect, dude. Sweaty jalapenos, does that make sense at all? The valley is a discernible swing low, a pivot point. Yeah, some guy. I can't even, sure. Presley Prince, sure. Sorry, I was doing analysis when those tips came in. I didn't want to stop. Yep, tree. Tree's another one. Why in the heck? I missed that one. Oh, okay. Yep. No, I didn't really miss it. I was about to. Thank you for bringing it up. Good God, dude. Devastated. Tree. Lowest level since April of last year. It's been, oh, it's terrible, man. Goodness gracious. Look at that. Oh, look at the head and shoulders momentum shifting stuff. 2018, 2019, 2020. That is gnarly, isn't it? So you're gonna have like a zone down there, and that's exactly where that first bounce went, all right? It's a little too perfect to say it's a formal harmonic, but yeah, you're maybe getting close to profit taking levels. But man, that is an ugly structure up there, isn't it? Really ugly. And you broke another very critical support, it seems, today. Lending Tree broke an ice line from 2018. And there is no support until, look, straight up, straight down, straight up. That is your only history between 139.45 and 183.55. So this, yeah, I know there's an 886 down here, but dude, this could go straight down again. This goes straight down to 139.45 on Lending Tree. Not good. I mean, for the asset. So I'm just looking at the first time, and it's just like kind of, again, a little too perfect. A and C, you know, you need 113% for it to be valid, so that could hurt it. It's at the 88% retrace, and there might be an edge if it pivots, sure, but remember it's a 61%, 58% retrace on B, so that the 786 was technically supposed to be the look how beautiful that would have been. Isn't that crazy how, oh man, another bamboozle kind of, where it's just you have an ice line and a 786 is confluent with that critical ice line, and it broke it today. So it's like that was going to be, but again, too perfect on A and C, so it's not a formal harmonic anyway. So we don't even know the 886 is going to be valid. You need 113%. If it's going to be a higher high on C, 113% minimum. Okay. If it's going to be a lower high, it needs to be 88% max, no higher than the 886. Right? There's this no man's land between the 88.7% and 112.99%, right? Where it's no formal harmonic. You need the 886 minimum or maximum, or a minimum 113%. You don't have that here. So I great that you requested it, but on that. And you also have to look at it like this, where it could be, whew, that's way too deep. You could look at it like this. I mean, just in a way, like XA, B, that's a 618, C, and then 786 is where? Oh God, look at that, man. 78% retrace is confluent with the congestion. Oh man, that's real. That's cipher. That's, look, 114% on C. We just talked about you need to have at least a minimum of 130%. Is 114.4. Good. 63%, perfect. Like 618, yeah, that's about perfect. So the 786. That's exactly what it did though, right? I mean, it did that and bounced. So maybe it gets like a confirmation low down here, like a double bottom. Kind of cool the way it played out in the end. But you had no edge. You had no confirmation low. You had some divergence, I guess, in the RSI. But if we're talking about harmonics because you requested it, that it never technically tested the 786. It was like a 70%, 76% retrace. So the 100% or the 786 is literally like 130, and it's never seen that since this pattern was painted. So there you go. Maybe that's it on Lending Tree. You break 129, you're screwed, dude. It's going down to $50, $51. Okay, and there's your Lending Tree. Moving on. Okay. Good Mother of God. Well, I mean, like, Trias did smart things at one time. I mean, there was hidden bullish look. I mean, Hex did the similar stuff, right? Where, like, there was a high set up. Look at the candle open when I got it listed in February. Yeah, you broke it, you back tested it as support. That's the stuff you're looking for. You're looking for a back test of support and hidden bullish divergence at the same time. Beautiful. Look at the rally, and Trias now up at these levels is like, what can you do? You just can't do anything. There's no edge. There's nothing. I mean, eventually hidden bullish divergence will develop again, but dude, this thing could keep selling off. Bearish engulfing candle and struggling here. Really failing to run. This is just, again, there's nothing to look at on Trias. The time to look at Trias for strategic entries on longs was down here when I was triple bottoming off of an old, right? An old range. 1 time, 2, 3 times, Mother of God. Then it went nuts. And then another time, the other time to care about Trias was when it was breaking the candle open and the wick high, it was back testing as support and showed hidden divergence, right? That was the time to care about Trias. Trias now is just stupidly not overbought per se, but just, right? What can you do with that? If you watch the stream enough and you understand like what I try to teach, this is just, we can't do anything with it. It's down 35% today. Yeah, it happens on micro cap coins that we've never like had, you know, they were created like, you know, a month or two ago. It's gonna happen, dude. We already looked at Hex, Greg. No, I've not heard of Pulse. No. All right, let's look at the next one. Some guy requested. Yeah, struggling bad, man. I mean, this was great. At least it was great on April 25th when it pulled a Dogecoin. It just underperformed. It didn't go nuts like Doge did. But look, as you can see, it's stuck between a range between 12 cents and 19.5 to 20 cents. And it is making a lower high now than the previous high and just underperforming, down 8.24%. There was bearish divergence identified on this asset when we looked at it. Someone else has requested this recently, and it was beginning of this month, and said impending price action reversal is being implied on the asset, and it's happening, and it's confirming a lower high than the previous high, which isn't good, you know. So I think the target on this, if it's going to keep going, is 11.9 cents, and if you don't hold that, you're going to 8.6 cents. All right, this distribution is now being kind of confirmed, at least on the 4 hour on Anchor. It's not good. I mean, it's not really that bullish anymore, because it's like you have distribution going on, kind of being confirmed, and you never had accumulation, right? You this low from April 7th, and then you made technically a lower low April 23rd. So a basic buying, right? Range bound, but now in the range, there's a lower high than the previous highs. So it's not really good, not really bullish. Now, remember, there was a time when the momentum was amazing, was making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, over and over and over again, and then it like created this little beautiful, almost ascending triangle behavior, and then it broke out. It even back tested the breakout as support before mooning and that was when it had the buying climax that created the range. And now it's, again, there's some distribution going on, so it's not really that great. Okay, there's your Anchor, some guy, thanks 21. Cardano, we can look at it. Yeah, it was looking awesome, but yeah, it's still awesome. Like anything above 150 is amazing, right? It broke out of the trading range that it was in for months, like a quarter, like 3 months. Broke out, but it's not really back tested. It's not truly back tested the breakout, which it could, you know. But I mean, if Bitcoin holds, then it's probably not going to back test. Like Bitcoin holds and runs back up to 58K, then Cardano's probably going to make its run to $2, but if Bitcoin doesn't want to play ball and wants to continue its descent after not being able to break above the confirmation line of the potential through rising valleys yesterday, nah, man, Cardano's going to go test 145 to 148, the top of the trading range. And hopefully, if it does, it holds it as support, and maybe a couple times, not just once, but twice. You get a double bottom. That could be a breakout trade setup. But you don't have any of that yet. So, and you just did complete. That's the good news, right? TA is being respected on some levels where you made a slightly higher high with a very real bearish divergence on both oscillators, right? The high, a lot of positive momentum, and then on the second high, the slightly higher high, the attempted rally, you made much lower levels. Impending price action reversal has occurred, but the good news for you is that bearish divergence that has occurred is pretty much vastly underperformed, right? I mean, the sell-off's not been bad on Cardano, so that's good. You want to see outperformance and bullish trends on bearish variables, which is going on. It's down 6.3%, but welcome to crypto, man. That's like every single day almost. You know, we're just getting to that point where 6%. I mean, yeah, 5%, 6% almost every day, at least intraday. There you go, Presley Prince. You're safe and bullish above 145 to 148 because you're out of the range. That's it. No edge for bulls right now. There's nothing like implying, oh, it's time to take a long right now. Nothing's implying that. I'm just telling you levels, critical levels, what you're looking for. You're above them. Let's go back to YFI. That's murdering it right now. It's 61,766, getting closer to that second target, the trade setup. Man, this is the way I felt so tempted, right? And when you feel that temptation at critical levels, you just feel like, man, it's a composite operator trying to get the remaining float, the remaining amount of coins, not shares, at this critical level, and once it breaks, price discovery re-engages, you're in a very bullish trend. You've been in one for a long time. November is when it began or re-began. PCZ of the bullish shark or whatever. And again, I think 68K, maybe 69K. But this would probably see 100,000 before Bitcoin for sure. You know, there's 29,000 coins in circulation on YFI. That's why I like it. I mean, I just love that supply demand thing, and I just loved the technicals on it. You add the amount of supply with the technicals, it was like kind of a no-brainer. But hey, man, I was just eating crow on this one. I mean, my initial entry on this was like 32K. It was right after the tornadoes came through. It was the bullish Gartley confirmation low, back testing an old ice line. It's been going well, man. Up almost 100%. So I think it's going to 68, 69K. And that's targets, right? One in targets. Okay, man, what a stream. Yeah, hour 40 minutes. I've been called bad names today. That happens. People take out their hate on the streamer on days like this. I would say you get used to it, but you never get used to it. You never get used to being called names and denigrated publicly live on, like, you're just like, you know, whatever. So we'll see at much higher prices on this one. Price discovery is re-engaged, and it's not probably done on YFI. I'm just telling you, but whatever. Can't say I didn't warn you. You can't say I wasn't screaming bullishly about YFI for weeks. You just can't. You can't say I wasn't doing that. So here's your Ethereum that is just, you know, it's been flirting with $4,000, but, you know, 4,200, what else could you ask for? A pullback at some point would make sense. But if we look at history and the way Bitcoin was, it didn't really pull back at all until $5,000. Coffee beans, man. At the bottom of the mug. That was bad. Yeah, dude, let's see what Zuckerberg naming his Go Bitcoin does to the market, alright? What a catalyst. All right, I'll be back. Thanks so much for the likes, love, support, contributions, everything in between. Pray for Bitcoin, I guess. Everything's fine until it falls below like 52,000. Was it 52,300? We gotta get a daily. Daily is really the telltale. Yeah, and things start getting not so good when you break 53,255. When you invalidate the bullish engulfing candles, when it sucks. That's when it's like you run the risk of this. You run the risk of this. Because that's the bad action magnet move. That'd be, oops, is it? Yeah, that'd be it, sorry. Bad action magnet move stuff below $53,000, the wick. Yeah, because then you'd be looking at like an 886 or 786, right? Like if you break this 53,000, really high probability it's going straight down to 50,000 or sub 50K, where it could go to 49,500 or the 886 when things, if it gets real bad and extreme. You're talking about like 48,400. So like that's just a possibility if you do break below 53,000 on the daily. Okay.
With all the craziness with the gas pipeline hack and whatnot, all the gas stations are packing, running out of gas here in South Alabama.
Sure. If you want to look at West Texas crude or whatever. Oh no, WTI. Yeah, it is pretty wild, the hack. Yeah, WTI is just US oil though, right? That's beautiful. I mean, well, it could be. It's potentially beautiful. At the same time, it's inflection stuff. It's like where, well, this is where it could go nuts if it breaks 66.72. This is also an exact area where it could double top and get wrecked. So, WTI or US oil, remember at one time it went negative or 1 to 0. COVID crash. But yeah, I mean, if it can break above. How's that plotted there? Oh, it's the weekly. I think I got it all plotted on the daily. It's really that, man. 70 bucks. $70 is the big inflection point. Well, I mean, really, like 66.72. There's just a lot of congestion, right? A lot of areas up here is where it's reversed before. So, you gotta love the trend it's in. Now, like, right, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. But now you're approaching the same high, right? You got accumulation. So I'm just saying, like, it just depends, like, where it could double top here. But at the same time, this is exactly where if it breaks 66.72, it's going straight up to $70. And if it breaks $70, it's probably going up to $76. So just all depends. Creating a reaction high, so if a sell-off occurs here, then it could create a new reaction low, and then you could have an ascending triangle. I don't think you have a valid ascending triangle yet. You don't have two reaction lows. This is like the same run right here, right? You need a reaction high to separate the two reaction lows, so you'd need to see it actually pull back some from out and now finally hitting that same high, and then you could anchor for the and then that would make it a lot better of an idea of potentially an ascending triangle. I don't think you quite have an ascending triangle yet. Oh wow, we made it to the end of the day somehow. Well, crap. Do you like this? Yeah, Bitcoin's okay on the daily, at least until it gets a daily candle close below 53,200. Really disappointing. You know, you had so much promise that you were doing all the right things. I mean, the price action correlation to old highs was so good until today, right? It's like you keep trying to break it and you keep failing. Keep trying, fail. Try, fail, try, fail, try, fail. It's down 4.18%. So I guess we could do something else I plotted. So just let's just wipe the failed. Look, it was a failed trade setup because look, I mean, the fact is it was not at the resistance when I was talking about it being an opportunity, right? It was just down here at like 57.8 or something, and then it rallied and tested the confirmation line and failed. It failed. It not enough demand to break it. So yeah, that happens, man. So the potential through rising valleys never became real. It never became a real pattern. So, like, there is some other demand line, and, you know, this, you're going to smoke some hopium here, just anchoring from the previous two lows. You're still making a higher low. All right, you got a new daily candle. New daily candle has been born, so I guess, like, Jesus chimes or whatever. So that's there, but, you know, the stronger support would be 52,172 to 52,641 down here. All that shot, those yellow trend lines. So what did it just do on the 4 hour? It just back tested 55,963 as a resistance. It was once support April 7th, but now has technically become a resistance. Kind of a little weird on the top to be called a bullish pin bar, but dang, if it's not close, I mean, that's definitely an argument could be made for a bullish pin bar reversal, but we'll see. You got to get back above 55,963 at least. Locally, man, come on. So yeah, no harm yet, too much, no real technical, like major technical damage done to the asset. It's not even making a lower low yet, not really. If you zoom out, you get it. So it's like everything's okay until we get a lot more selling. Oh god, I forgot. Yeah, you did request that. I don't even know how I'm forgetting some of these. But I got it though. I'll look at it. It doesn't have the liquidity you need. If it's a stock, it's 251,000 volume. Therefore, it doesn't. You need 1 million volume, and so I don't even know if I should chart this. All it did respect TA, where it went up to test that 383, that low from November 2019, once in June of last year, and again just recently. And yeah, I mean, sure, the trend has reversed. It's in an uptrend, but too illiquid, man. Too illiquid to mess with. Down 3.5%.
Possible crab finishing.
What's up, Sick Puppy? Oh yeah, bullish crab because it hit the 1618. Probably that's terrible, isn't it? That's, if I remember that, kind of. I can't. What do you want me to do? Because like, if I start doing analysis on it, and if I start trying to make an argument, then you might take the argument as valid and take a long on it. And I'm telling you, you don't want to be taking longs on assets that are this illiquid, because if you have a stop loss set up and it starts dumping, then like your stop loss probably won't get filled. You'll get a running stop. That's what it's called, where there's no asks or there's no bids, where your stop loss is on the book and it just falls below it, and it never triggers, and then what? You get wrecked. So I get it. Yeah, maybe the trend's reversing, sure, but it's like, what a run it's had. You know, it's not enough volume, man. But I get why you might request it. Yeah, these are like assets normally you want to look at, but just with more volume. So you're on the right track, at least identifying assets beaten down that are starting to show higher lows instead of lower lows. Yeah, sure. Terrible, dude. Good God, so bad. What a terrible asset. This is one that obviously sucks, right? Lena, you asked about what you say was a possible crab finishing. Possible crab finishing. Where would we... If it was anything, it would have been down here. I don't know, man. No crab. No crab.
Hey Mitch, I'd love to see your TA and price targets for Carja Chain. Kai/USDT pair on KuCoin small pump after BitBoy crypto video yesterday. Is 0.30 cents possible soon? Thanks.
What's up, BK Trap, man? Dang, y'all keep me around, aren't y'all? Jeez. I was like about to get out of here. Holy crap. Thanks, man. Christmas, man. That was a composite operator acquiring his position then.
$11.11. Sup, we look at the eye. Still holding from Christmas Eve.
Dang, man. You got diamond hands. Hey, right out the gate, Bitcoin sucks. Alright. Yeah, I don't see a crab pattern. Unless you were talking about something like this. Which, yeah, sure. Sure. Oh, the crab. It would be the 1618 then, right? Yeah, okay, good luck, dude. Have fun. Have fun. Wait for it to get to 5 cents. Okay, sure. 1618. Yeah, I mean, that's really like 5 cents on Lena. Wow, look at total today. What the? You see this? That's crazy. Just the chart itself is like identical. It's like, what? How is this even real? It's got to be broken or something. Because there's no way on the new day it went up to 2.5 trillion. There's no way. So this is just broken right now. No idea. Yeah, YFI did something extraordinary. Forgive all the stuff. I just have a lot of work I haven't deleted, but look at this demand line, man. You see this friggin' demand line on YFI? But something extraordinary. You've re-broken out of the congestion area. Okay, so anytime you're above that, there is always a chance you run to 3811. If YFI is going to price discovery, YFI got a chance to see 3811. Okay, that's it. That's freaking nice, man. Okay, so I think that would be probably the target at this rate. You know, like, why would the composite operator just be continuously accumulating his position on this since Christmas, right? This was like the trade setup entry down here. You've never seen those levels again. So it's just been higher highs, higher lows, a lot of ups and downs, right? But very methodical, and anything above 2570, 2758, eventually 3811. That high back from September of last year. Which had already almost hit that. It was so close, you know, February. Then create another harmonic and just continue on up. So yeah, that's it, dude. 3811 would be your target on this, assuming it stays above 2570 and doesn't fall like below it's above the inflection point. Very, very good. So you're above the inflection point, then you run 3811. If you fall below the inflection point, you could always run back down to 1500. So the market dumps. Okay, that's it. So is that all the requests? Yep, that's it. Okay. Thanks, Echo Leaf. So, again, you've got to break 55,963 because that's like a low point from April 7th, and you've just now tested. You broke it on the last 4-hour candle, or 2 4-hour candles ago. You just confirmed this resistance again, and now you're confirming again. You've got to break that ice line, that support resistance, not test it twice as resistance. It should be a support. Ugh. Yeah, Bitcoin's just a terrible performer this year. I mean, besides January to February, right? That was this right here, February 21st. Ever since then, man, it's just been Chop City, ups and down, up and down. Still making higher lows until you're not. Okay. Thank you, Echo Leaf, again. Thanks for, yeah, BK, thank you, man, for the 111. Wonderful. Yeah, dude, I mean, retail's definitely coming into this market. I mean, things are way more of a headache in a lot of ways. So thanks for likes, love, support, contributions, everything in between. Very grateful. We fight to live another day, don't we? So thanks for watching, you know. So I'll be back. Until next time, respect to the T. Hey. Hey, Ubi, man. Thanks for the 100, dude. Really, really appreciate that. Wow, man. That's awesome. Unexpected. Thanks again, brother.